Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. Have you ever noticed that some men seem almost obsessed with pleasing the woman they love? Not just physically, but emotionally too. They pay attention to her reactions. They want to know what makes her feel safe, desired, connected. And sometimes women sit there wondering, why? What is happening inside a man's mind during moments of deep intimacy? Is it purely physical? Is it emotional? Is it biological? Or is it something much deeper that most people never talk about honestly? Because the truth is, many women have spent years carrying silent insecurities into intimate relationships. Questions they never say out loud. Does he really enjoy this? Is he judging me? Am I attractive enough? And when those questions go unanswered, they slowly create emotional distance in moments that are supposed to feel loving and safe. But today, I want to change that conversation completely. Because once you understand the psychology behind male desire, emotional bonding, and intimacy, you stop seeing yourself through fear and start seeing yourself through truth. And if you've ever struggled with overthinking during intimacy, I want you to know you are far from alone. So many women silently battle insecurity while pretending everything is fine. If any part of this conversation resonates with you, I'd genuinely love for you to share your thoughts in the comments. Sometimes the most healing thing is realizing other women feel the exact same way. And if you value honest conversations about relationships, psychology, confidence, and emotional connection, take a moment to like this video and subscribe because these conversations matter more than people realize. I'm Mary Smith, host of Senior Mindful Living YouTube channel. Now let's talk honestly about what is really happening psychologically when a man deeply enjoys pleasing his partner. Because contrary to what many women have been taught, this is not simply about physical release. In fact, neuroscience tells us something fascinating. The human brain is wired to experience pleasure not only from receiving pleasure, but from giving it. Researchers studying attachment and intimacy have repeatedly found that emotionally connected partners often experience satisfaction through their partner's emotional and physical response. Think about it this way. Have you ever given someone a thoughtful gift and felt excited watching them open it? That emotional reward system is deeply human. In intimate relationships, something very similar happens. A man who is emotionally invested often experiences a psychological reward when he sees his partner relaxed, responsive, trusting, and emotionally open. His brain releases dopamine, which is associated with reward and motivation, and oxytocin, the hormone strongly linked to bonding and emotional closeness. And this is where things become deeply important for women to understand. Many men are not just seeking physical closeness, they are seeking emotional confirmation. They want to feel wanted, trusted, accepted, desired. For emotionally healthy men, intimacy becomes a form of communication. It says, I want to connect with you completely. That's why some men become incredibly attentive lovers. Your response emotionally validates the connection for them. I once spoke with a woman in her late 40s who admitted she spent nearly 20 years feeling anxious during intimacy with her husband. She constantly worried about how she looked, whether she smelled okay, whether he secretly judged her body. One night, after years of silence, she finally asked him honestly, "Do you actually enjoy this, or are you just doing it for me?" His answer shocked her. He looked genuinely confused and said, I love making you feel good. That's one of the best parts for me. She realized in that moment that her insecurity had been speaking louder than reality for decades. And psychologically, that happens more often than you think. The female brain is highly responsive to emotional safety. When a woman feels anxious, judged, or self-conscious, her nervous system shifts into a state of alertness. Blood flow decreases, muscle tension increases, and pleasure becomes harder to experience. This is why confidence and relaxation are not just emotional concepts. They are biological conditions that directly affect intimacy. One of the most powerful exercises I recommend is something called body neutrality, not body positivity, body neutrality. Because many women think they must fully love every inch of themselves before they can feel comfortable being desired. That is simply not true. Body neutrality means learning to stop treating your body like an enemy. Instead of saying, I have to love everything about myself, try saying, my body deserves kindness. My body is human. My body is worthy of connection. That small mental shift can transform the way you experience intimacy. And here's another psychological truth most people overlook. Vulnerability itself creates attraction. Human beings bond through emotional openness. When two people trust each other enough to be emotionally and physically vulnerable, the brain interprets that experience as meaningful. This is one reason emotionally connected intimacy often strengthens relationships far beyond the bedroom. It creates emotional memory. Have you ever noticed how some couples seem deeply connected even after decades together? It's usually not because everything is perfect. It's because they learned how to make each other feel emotionally safe. Safety creates openness. Openness creates trust. Trust deepens attraction. Now, let's talk about something many women secretly worry about, but rarely discuss openly: the fear of being judged physically. Research on female self-image consistently shows that women are far more critical of themselves than their partners are. Women tend to magnify perceived flaws, while emotionally invested partners focus on connection, attraction, chemistry, and closeness. And social media has made this worse. Filters, unrealistic beauty standards, edited bodies, comparison culture, all of it teaches women to view themselves through criticism instead of compassion. But real intimacy does not happen in perfection. It happens in authenticity. Real connection is messy sometimes, human sometimes, vulnerable sometimes. One relationship therapist once said something that stayed with me for years. People don't fall deeply in love with perfection. They fall deeply in love with emotional presence. And that is such an important distinction. Another thing many women misunderstand is that emotionally mature men often feel proud when they can make their partner feel relaxed and desired. Psychologists sometimes refer to this as erotic generosity, the emotional satisfaction someone experiences from their partner's pleasure and comfort. Men who are securely attached often view intimacy as collaborative. That's why communication matters so much. Many women stay silent during intimacy because they fear ruining the mood or sounding demanding. But healthy communication actually strengthens attraction. Simple phrases like, "I like that," "a little slower," or "that feels good," create guidance instead of confusion. Emotionally invested partners usually appreciate feedback because it helps them feel more connected and confident. And let me say something that some women desperately need to hear today. You are allowed to receive pleasure without guilt. So many women were conditioned to prioritize everyone else's comfort above their own. They learn to nurture others while disconnecting from themselves. But healthy intimacy is not one-sided. Mutual pleasure is not selfish. Emotional openness is not selfish. Feeling desired is not selfish. You deserve to feel chosen. You deserve to feel emotionally safe. You deserve to feel fully present instead of trapped inside your own thoughts. And for the women watching who still struggle with insecurity, I want you to ask yourself one honest question. What if the story you tell yourself about your body is not the same story your partner sees at all? What if he sees warmth where you see flaws? What if he sees beauty where you see imperfection? What if the thing preventing deeper connection isn't your body, but your fear? That question alone changes everything. Because the strongest relationships are rarely built on flawless appearances. They are built on emotional trust, curiosity, affection, safety, and the willingness to truly see each other. And before we finish, I want to remind you of something incredibly important. Intimacy should never feel like performance. It should feel like connection. If someone genuinely cares about you, they are not sitting there analyzing every tiny insecurity you obsess over in your mind. They are experiencing closeness with someone they desire emotionally and physically. So stop fighting your own body. Stop assuming you are difficult to love. Stop letting insecurity speak louder than reality. You are more worthy of love, affection, connection, and pleasure than you have been taught to believe. And if today's conversation helped shift your perspective even a little, let me know in the comments. I truly read them, and your experiences may help another woman feel less alone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And remember this the next time you question whether someone genuinely enjoys loving you. Emotionally healthy intimacy is not about obligation. It's about connection. It's about trust. It's about closeness. And when someone deeply cares about you, your happiness becomes emotionally meaningful to them too. Take care of yourself, and never forget that you deserve to feel loved without shame.